After the crucible that was Dragon Age the Veilguard's development, it stands to reason that EA might want to take the helm and steer the ship themselves. The question being, which way is EA going to steer the ship? Hello crows and non-crows alike, my name is Joe Mac, otherwise known as Support Crow, and today I want to ponder whether or not EA is going to make Mass Effect 5 a live service game. I think it's logical to assume there's going to be some kind of multiplayer mode in the next game. Mass Effect 3 had what was considered the best version of this. Andromeda's multiplayer mode was fun to play also, despite issues with the overall game itself. Given the popularity, I don't have any doubts that we'll see a multiplayer mode in Mass Effect 5, and I'm willing to bet credits that it will be consistently updated as long as the game itself performs well. But that's not entirely what I'm asking here. I'm asking, will the core game experience be centered around a live service? Now, you can say that it is rather way too early to make that kind of call, and there's certainly logical arguments behind that rationale. However, I still see some, well, let's call them warning signs, red flags, if you will. Red flag number 1 was planted during the early development of Dragon Age the Veilguard. The red flag here is that EA has had an early strong interest in transitioning BioWare from a studio that makes single-player games into a studio that makes live service multiplayer titles. And I'm not just talking about Anthem or the multiplayer modes from Mass Effect or Dragon Age Inquisition. In the early days of Veilguard, at the time it was called Project Joplin and was being directed under Mark Darrah, a veteran of BioWare in Dragon Age. It's hard to say exactly what happened with Joplin. Some say financial changes caused the project to be cut. Others say EA forced the project to be scrapped so they could focus on a multiplayer game. There's a lot of speculation with not a lot of concrete evidence. Either way, Project Joplin was scrapped and Project Morrison entered the scene. Morrison's mission was to transition the single-player narrative-driven Dragon Age franchise into a fully monetized live service with a title resembling the multiplayer mode from Dragon Age Inquisition. This version of the game never came to pass. Officially, EA claims that it was the overwhelming success of Jedi Fallen Order that motivated Dragon Age's redirection into a single-player title. Personally, I think it was because their Dragon Age live service multiplayer game leaked out and everyone got super pissed, but that's just me. Red flag number 2 is what happened after Dragon Age the Veilguard was released. After everything was said and done and all the chips fell down, EA looked at the mess before them and came to a startling conclusion that they should have stuck with their plans for Project Morrison and essentially blamed Veilguard's lackluster performance on the volatility of the single-player market. This is absolutely absurd, by the way. We can debate and argue about all the different things that added up to the shortcomings of Veilguard, but I've yet to hear a single person complain that the game wasn't live service. While people believe that this is EA simply being disconnected from the gaming community, and that certainly can still be the case, I believe this is EA setting up the foundation for their explanation behind a live service Mass Effect game. You know, Dragon Age didn't do well because it wasn't live service, so we're making Mass Effect 5 a live service game. I'm willing to put credits on it. Lastly, red flag number 3. After the developer relocations away from BioWare, the community blog post was written by Gary McKay, the general manager of BioWare. In this post, McKay says that the core team of BioWare veterans is developing the next addition to the Mass Effect series. However, there is one line that catches my attention. McKay writes, "We are taking this opportunity between full development cycles to reimagine how we work at BioWare. A development cycle is pre-production, production, and iteration. For BioWare to be in between full development cycles, this would mean it's after the iteration of Dragon Age the Veilguard and before the pre-production of Mass Effect 5. Keep in mind, Mass Effect 5 was revealed 4 years ago, so either BioWare has been sitting at the starting line and drawing pretty pictures for 4 years, or they have restarted the project to reimagine what the game is. Considering EA's take on Veilguard, I don't think we have to imagine much about what the game is now. So if it comes out that Mass Effect 5 is a live service multiplayer game, I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest. However, to give them the benefit of a doubt, this might be a mix-up with words. Perhaps a full development cycle means something different for BioWare. As far as I'm concerned though, I'm reading the definition straight from my college grade textbook. How about you though? Do you see the same red flags as I do, or do I just need to go get a drink? Would you like to see a live service Mass Effect game? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching. Be sure to stick around for the next video, where we'll discuss the theory about a possible new playable race for Dragon Age 5. I'm really looking forward to that one. Until then though, be safe, be well, be kind. Bye-bye.